Hello everyone, welcome back to Abundant Automation. Where are we? We did finish, for the most part, the smelting setup. New and improved. All ready for the grand factory that is to come. Now these 4 lanes, I think, is about all that we'll need for a very, very long time. Considering that we'll upgrade all of these to blue lanes. And if we do need more at a later date, we can still go ahead and put in some more smelting someplace else. As I said, I'll just leave these as they are for the time being. Until the need arises to change them. So, what's next on the menu? I did play with the thought of building a belt factory before doing oil, but I think we'll do oil right now. I want blue signs up and on the go. I want robots up and on the go. So that we can fling ourselves into more advanced times. Maybe even get a power armor of sorts. But yeah, that's a bit far into the future. Let's think about oil first. So I think maybe 5 refineries seems about right for what we want to do here. Let's hot bind these. Let's also get a couple chemical plants. And a pump. Well, we don't actually need a pump just yet, but we will eventually. Alright, so the way I want to do oil is I don't want to pipe in liquid oil. I want to pipe in barreled oil, and I want to use barreled oil in just about everything I do. Yeah, so let's have a little thought. So we'll have the water for the oil come in here. It's a very convenient place. I didn't even think about that at the time. But yeah, there we are. So what's the input on these things? I think it's the left one is oil for these, I think. With advanced oil processing, I mean. Yeah, we'll just go with the assumption that the right one's gonna become water eventually. And if it isn't, we can still shuffle things around. Right now I want to do something like empty crude oil barrel in here, and then we'll have these stacked up against each other. Stacked up against each other, like so. So then we can have precisely 3 tilts between each of these. Meaning we can do a little underground belt trickery here. For which we'll of course need underground belts. Yeah, right now it would probably be easier and faster to use excuse me, to use the liquid crude oil directly. But as it stands, I obviously want to bring in oil via train at some point. And we're not using rail tanker, just because it's less efficient than vanilla oil transportation. At least it was when I last checked. So what we'll do is we'll take the barreled oil we get from the train stations into here. So the way this will work is we're going to take from this lane. We're going to put the empty barrels back into that line. And this is going to go like so. And then the other way around. This is, by the way, I don't even know, did we... I don't think we used this so far in the factory. No, we didn't. This is also a pattern that you can use for any factory layout, for any assembly line where you're a bit crammed in. So let's say you are somewhere along your main bus and you have a lot of space away from the main bus, but not a lot of space like on the main bus itself, not a lot of surface area. And doing an assembly line like so can be a pretty neat idea. Plus you can, for all in and outputs with this, always guarantee that you do have fast insertion. One drawback is of course that you can only insert onto one side of the output belt. So in order to remedy this, if you really want high throughput, you could still output like so. So say this was an assembly line for something else and have inputs come in that way. The possibilities are really endless. Question is, do I want the things running this way? I don't even think I do. No, I think I'll reverse all of this. Because I will be expanding the refineries to the west, which means I'll want the input belts coming from the east. So then that's the input, and that's the output. There you go. Now I can bring this around like so. Okay, now I'll probably want an assembler making these at some point, but for now we're just going to do it this way. This really doesn't have to be a high throughput system, so we're going to have this assembler like so, and we'll just do it which way. I'm going to take from there and put into there. And that should work. We will need to revisit this whole barreling and unbarreling setup once we're finished with the oil station. But that's a thought for a later date. For now, let's just put in that. Alright, then you will be producing oil. Alright, what do I want? How do I want to handle the intermediate products? I don't have a definitive layout at hand for all the cracking and intermediate steps. So I think we'll, for the time being, just rig something up. Because we don't have pumps yet, so we can't really put in a pumping system, and we won't need much plastic and much, what's it called, sulfuric acid for the time being, so we'll just make do with what we have. One question though, in the future, will I want to have petroleum on the east side or on the west side of this? I think I want it on the east side, just because that's the closest to the actual main bus. Alright, so what we'll do is just this. So again, I'm making this up as I go along. Could work out pretty well, could work out terribly. Don't know. Yeah, whatever. Can always change it later. Right, that should be that. And now we can take petroleum out somewhere here. And bring it down. And then we'll just have a very, very rudimentary petroleum goods factory. We won't even be doing priorities, I think. Will we be doing correct ratios, though? No, let's just get something going. Alright, your plastic, your sulfur, and you are sulfuric acid. Means we'll also need water. Whatever, not the prettiest. Yeah, not the prettiest might be a slight understatement here, but it'll do the job. And once we have advanced oil processing, and once I actually feel the need to put in oil cracking, we'll revisit all of this and make it a little nicer. All right, let's now do this. Also not something that'll work in the long run. And we also need water in here. That's Alright, these run there. A bit of a brain fart there, but it's all good now. And that can not go there, so I'll just put it here. And now for the last part of my grand design, we'll put that there. Alright, full barrels go through there, empty barrels come out there. You are toiling away, and there's a first plastic to a very, very crude lane balancer here. And there we go. Alright, that's these two sets, and now I want a bit of loop to go with it. Alright, and a few storage tanks. Just for the excess here, I think we'll put these a little out of the way so that they don't interfere with whatever I'm going to build there. So let's say we put light oil. Yeah, let's just put them somewhere here. A little bit out of the way. So these won't be a permanent thing, it's just that while I'm working towards advanced oil processing, I don't run into a backed up oil plant. Alright, so let's try to bus these. I have plenty of belt on us. Alright, so these two will be the remainder of the circuit thingy. And then this side, alright, we did say that this side's only gonna be circuits. So then all we'll need here on this side will be plastics and sulfuric acid. So that's all I shall put there. Right, so the innermost thing here will be plastics. Draw this all the way across here. There it is. And then we'll also take sulfuric acid directly from here. It's a very, very relaxing and soothing task. Not the most exhilarating, but there you go. So that's our plastics belt and our sulfuric acid pipe on the bus. It's a poultry supply, but it's better than nothing, and we'll amp it up eventually. Alright, but that's gonna have to be it for this episode. In the next episode we'll probably be starting to work on advanced circuits, finally, and then start doing some science, because we're doing all of this just for science. Okay, so as always, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have been Grind, and I shall see you soon.